He knew that they sought to distract, destroy, and probably kill Nehemiah. And he said, I cannot come down. I cannot step out of my purpose. My calling, my purpose was rebuilding these walls. I am not done. I am standing in my purpose, and nothing is going to take me out of that. So don't let the enemy pull you away, because he'll always be there. Hey, come over here, do this. Hey, this will be fun for a minute. Do this. No, he's always going to distract you. Don't let the enemy pull you away. Stay laser focused on what it is. And here's the part that a lot of us don't want to hear. Anything, absolutely anything that distracts us from God's plan is opposite from God's plan. So it doesn't have to look bad or evil. You hear what I'm saying? Our distractions won't always come to us like they're trying to kill us or they're trying to destroy us. They might seem fun. They might seem good. They might seem like, well, why not do this? It's a great opportunity. But if it's not part of God's plan, then it is distracting you from God's plan. If it's not part of God's calling on your life, then you're not stepping into God's calling in your life, which again is a command from God, not to be taken lightly. So anything, whether it's obvious that it's evil, this is why, never mind. You may have experienced this in your life. We all probably can say that we've experienced distractions and things in your life. But it always seems like when we start to get encouraged, when we start to do something like chase a vision, chase a purpose, chase something that's bigger than us, it always seems like when we do this, we get distracted, we get pulled away. And sometimes it sneaks up on us like it was a surprise. Like, oh, how did I get here? I was supposed to be, the vision for my life was I was going to be here, but now I'm here. It seems like a setback, or it seems like punishment sometimes. But sometimes the distractions, again, they won't come as this obvious evil thing or evil choice. Sometimes the distractions will come to you through people who are trying to convince you that it's better for you not to serve God. It's better for you to go after this opportunity. People have said to me, I love you. People that love me, that really do, and I believe that. You can't waste, this is what they've said, you can't waste your life chasing God. You can't waste your life being a pastor. Get real, get a real job, right? Some people will go right after your identity, and they'll use things that are lies. Like if you're struggling with drugs or alcohol, they'll just go right after that. Well, you're just a drug addict, or you're just an alcoholic. You can't do this. They'll try to get you to identify with the worst thing in your life. When God's saying, listen, you leave that stuff behind, you come and step into this calling, and you're now a new creation. People will come to you, seemingly harmless. They'll say, I know this isn't usually your thing. I lost a lot of friends when I started becoming a pastor. There was a lot of friends I hung out with. And it was just like that. I was like, these are good friends. Like, these are good friends. They like me. We don't argue. They don't talk about me. But it was like, they call, hey, I know this isn't usually your thing, but do you want to go out and get hammered tonight? Like right after church. And I'd be like, yeah. And I'd be like, no, wait. As God began to push me closer to my calling, I recognized the things that didn't seem harmless or evil. And you know what's funny about this? We could spend all our lives looking for those people, looking for the devil that's trying to attack our lives, but we do this to ourselves. You're like, God, I know I'm supposed to be going to church tomorrow, but I just want to go out and have fun tonight. God, I know that when I go into church, I'm going to come in like this, but tonight I'm going to forget about my calling, my purpose. I'm just going to go, do whatever I want. Do what makes my flesh feel good. Do what makes my body feel good. I know I'm supposed to love people, and when I get to church, I'll put on my smile, but I just really need to fight this guy right now. I know that I should, but, we do it to ourselves. There's nobody involved in that. And people come all the time. Over the years, I've heard this, oh, the devil is just really no, you're doing this to yourself. We do it to ourselves. Don't give the devil that kind of power. Don't blame the devil for decisions you're making. So my point is that people and forces, people including ourselves, will always try to get you to be distracted from your calling, from your purpose. But we see this example of Nehemiah standing his ground. And we need to stand our ground, stay in our calling. Don't let those don't even give them a second, because the Bible says we have the authority to keep our thoughts captive. Anytime that thought comes to do, no, you'd be like, get back in there. But I want to look at this for a second, because what we read was that Nehemiah had the walls complete, but the gates weren't on yet. He didn't even have the gates finished, but he was so close to achieving his God-given purpose. But the gates weren't on yet. When any force, even our flesh meaning the part of us that tries to go back into sin, that tries to succumb to what our earthly desires are, when any of those things pulls out of our God-given purpose, even if it seems justified, well, Nehemiah's people were, I just want to talk. Nehemiah's enemies were just saying, I just want to talk. Oh, that seems pretty reasonable, right? That seems pretty just. I'm just going to go down there and justify. Oh, you've stepped out of your calling. Oops, right? I just want you to try this with me. I just want for a little bit. No, all of these things are a trap. Even if it seems good, even if it seems justified. And right now, some of us might be thinking back on our decisions that we've made in life that have gotten us from here to here, and we think, man, I feel pretty dumb right now. I know I've replayed things over and over again in my head where I'm like, man, that was a really dumb decision. Why didn't I see it? But if it was easy to identify what these traps are, then we wouldn't fall for it, right? Sometimes it's not blatant. Sometimes it's not directly obvious that it's a trap, but we fall for it because we're human. The enemy is always trying to deceive us. The enemy comes to kill, steal, and destroy. And so Nehemiah's enemies, at the beginning of him rebuilding the wall, they were annoying at first. They were just ridiculing him. And then what did they do? Last week we talked about it. They attacked. They attacked the wall. Literally trying to tear down the wall to defeat him. It didn't work, but it didn't stop them because the wall wasn't complete yet. What did they do? They changed their tactic. They began to try to seduce him to come down off the wall to talk to them. And a lot of times, we'll walk right down off that wall, and we don't realize we've fallen for the trap until when? Till it's too late, till we're in it. And I don't think it's a coincidence that the place that they called him to go was called Ono. Oh, no. But Nehemiah didn't fall for it. He was so close to achieving and fulfilling his purpose. He said, you're not taking me out of my calling. You're not taking me out of my great works. I'm staying here. We don't have to evaluate every distraction to see if it's good or bad. All we have to remember is this distracting me from my purpose and calling?